There comes a moment in life when being the good one, the kind one, the always available one, becomes the very reason you suffer. A moment when you realize that your biggest enemy is not the people who betrayed you. It's your inability to say no, your constant need to be understood, your addiction to peace, even when it comes at the cost of your power. And this is what no one wants to admit out loud. If you want to protect your future, if you want to guard your purpose, if you want to live life on your terms, you must become cold-blooded. Yes, even with the people you love, especially with them, because love is not always soft, loyalty is not always sacred, and kindness, when not paired with boundaries, becomes a weapon that's used against you. This message is not about becoming heartless. It's about becoming precise, not detached, just disciplined, not numb. This is about finally stepping out of the emotional prison that you helped build because you didn't know how to say enough. This is the wake-up call for the version of you that keeps showing up for people who would never do the same. The version of you that confuses self-sacrifice with love. Before we go deeper into this message, comment below which part of the world you're watching from. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the MentalBite channel, and press the bell icon so you never miss a word of encouragement. This video is dedicated to Emily from Brooklyn. Now let's keep going, because what I'm about to say next might hit even harder. Most of the pain you carried didn't come from enemies. It came from people who called you family, from people who claimed to love you, from people who took advantage of the fact that you would never walk away. And the hardest pill you'll ever swallow is this: they knew. They knew you wouldn't leave. They knew you would forgive. They knew you'd clean up the mess, keep the peace, stay quiet to avoid conflict. And they used it over and over again, not always with bad intentions, but with predictable patterns. You were reliable, too reliable. So they kept leaning, kept taking, kept crossing lines, and you let them, because you believed love required that. You believed being a good person meant absorbing everyone else's chaos. You believed that loyalty meant staying even when it was killing your spirit. But that's not love. That's emotional slavery, and it's time you broke free. Let me paint a picture. Think of someone you know who is always bending over backward to help others. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone in your family, a friend. They are always saying yes, always rescuing people, always giving, until one day they're exhausted, bitter, burnt out. They start resenting the very people they tried to help. And worse, those people don't even notice because they've gotten used to the free emotional labor, the unpaid therapy, the unacknowledged sacrifices. And when this giver finally says, "I need space," or "I can't help right now," suddenly they're the villain. How dare they stop serving? How dare they put themselves first? That's what being too nice gets you. Used, and then discarded when you stop being useful. That's why you must become cold-blooded. You must recognize that love without limits leads to emotional bankruptcy. You can't save everyone, especially the ones who don't want to be saved, and especially when saving them means losing yourself. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved." If you cannot be both, most people misunderstand this. They think it means be cruel, be ruthless. But that's not it. What it means is this: people respect what they can't control. When you are too available, too understanding, too forgiving, people stop respecting you. Love without strength is not respected, it is used. You must become someone who is not easy to access, not because you're variable, but because you're valuable. You must show people that your peace has a price, your time has weight, your love has boundaries. Because the moment you make yourself cheap, the world will treat you like a discount version of who you really are. And this includes the people closest to you. The people who say, "I love you," but never apologize, who say I care but never change, who say I'll do better but repeat the same patterns. Being cold-blooded is how you stop that cycle. It's how you send a message without screaming. It's how you reclaim your energy. A woman once told me her story. Her brother was an addict. Every time he fell apart, she was there to pick him up. She paid his bills, cleaned up after his messes, even lost her job once trying to cover for his relapse. But the one time she said no, the one time she refused to give him money, he cursed her out, blocked her, told the family she was heartless. And that moment, she realized something. Her love had become a drug too, not to him, but to herself. She was addicted to being needed, addicted to being the hero. But heroes don't survive when they never rest. And being a hero isn't the same as being healthy. She had to become cold-blooded to survive. She had to choose herself over his chaos. And years later, she doesn't regret it, because now she helps from a distance. She prays for him, but she no longer loses herself in him. That's what this message is about. Now let's get deeper. Real talk. Being cold-blooded doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you love without letting it destroy you. It means you observe people instead of rescuing them. It means you stop trying to prove your worth and start protecting your soul. The truth is, when you start setting boundaries, the wrong people will call you mean. The right ones will call you strong. When you start saying no, the wrong ones will call you selfish. The right ones will say, I respect that. That's how you know who's really for you. That's how you separate love from manipulation. Because love that depends on your suffering is not love. It's control. Love that punishes you for having standards is not love. It's dependency. And love that demands you betray yourself to maintain peace. That's a trap. And your job, your only job, is to stop falling for it. You do not owe anyone your energy. You do not owe anyone access to the version of you that had no boundaries. You are not required to carry everyone, to fix everyone, to tolerate disrespect in the name of blood or history or guilt. That's a lie you were fed, and it's time you reject it. Cold-blooded means you know where you end and where others begin. It means you stop absorbing pain that doesn't belong to you. You stop apologizing for choosing your own healing. And when people guilt trip you for pulling back, remember this: the only people who get mad when you set boundaries are the ones who benefited from you not having any. Let them be mad. Let them leave. That's not a loss, it's a filter. A young man once emailed saying he cut off his best friend of 10 years because every time he succeeded, that friend made snide comments, downplayed his wins, borrowed money but never paid it back, always needed a favor, never showed up when roles were reversed. And when this young man finally said, I need some space, the friend told him he was changing, that he was too good now. But guess what? He was changing. He was getting better, growing, evolving. And people who want the old broken version of you won't like the healed version. They'll call it cold. But it's not. It's clear. Clear about what you deserve. Clear about what you will and won't tolerate. That's what real growth looks like. This path isn't easy. You will be called names. You will feel alone. You will question yourself. But I promise you this, you will also feel peace. You will feel strong. You will finally feel what it's like to breathe without carrying everyone else's weight. And once you taste that, you'll never go back. The more you say no to what drains you, the more you'll say yes to what builds you. The more you walk away from what breaks you, the more you'll walk into what heals you. The world will not hand you that freedom. You have to take it. Cold-blooded means you stop waiting for permission. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop keeping people in your life just because they've been around a long time. History is not a reason to suffer. Time does not equal respect. If someone has known you for years and still violates your boundaries, that's not love. It's familiarity without honor. You owe it to yourself to rise, to evolve, to enforce new rules. And no, you don't have to yell. You don't have to fight. You just stop participating. You stop responding. You stop explaining. Let your silence speak. Let your distance speak. Let your absence speak. When you finally walk away, they'll understand what your presence really meant. But by then, it's too late, because the cold version of you, the one who loves deeply but no longer tolerates disrespect, that version is not here to beg. That version is not here to be liked. That version is here to protect everything the old version let die. And here's the paradox: once you become cold-blooded, you actually become capable of deeper love. Because now, you love from a place of wholeness, not desperation. You love without losing yourself. You give without going empty. You help without being used. And you finally see people for who they are, not who you wish they would be. That clarity, that's your power. That's what they feared. Not your anger, but your calm. Not your rage, but your indifference. Because once you stop caring about pleasing everyone, you become untouchable. You become free. So take this message to heart. Being cold-blooded isn't the end of your compassion. It's the beginning of your wisdom. It's not the death of your warmth. It's the birth of your self-respect. And it's not something to fear. It's something to honor. You didn't come this far to be a doormat. You didn't survive everything just to be manipulated by guilt. You didn't rebuild your soul just to give it away to people who won't even say thank you. From now on, your peace is priority. Your growth is sacred. Your energy is expensive, and the world will adjust, because they always do. The only question is, will you?